Alright, so the Lions are back in action this Sunday afternoon after taking a bit of a long break after having that Thursday night win against the Packers and taking NFC North supremacy early in the season. As we're at the quarter-way mark of the season, and yeah, this Lions team looks really good. But of course, the Lions got a game this week as the Carolina Panthers to come to town this week. So yeah, game against the Carolina Panthers, and this is a must-win big game for Detroit, considering how important last year's meeting against Carolina was, and it's payback time. But yeah, let's take a look at this game. And of course, the Panthers, this is going to be a very hungry Panthers team, as they're still looking for their first win of the season at 0-4. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's take a look at this matchup and everything we need to know. So of course, for this game, the point spread for this game, Detroit are heavy favorites for this game, as Detroit is favored currently by 9.5 points. So they're favored by double digits, by effectively 10 points. So Detroit are heavy favorites effectively by double digits. Like, when was the last time we could say the Lions were favored in a game by nearly 10 fucking points? I can't recall the last time I've seen Detroit ever favored by 10. To me, this is new fucking territory for me. I guess it's kind of fitting in the villain era. But of course, Carolina, even though Detroit's favored by 10 points, this could be viewed as a trap game, though. And for anyone wondering why this could be a trap game, well, when you take a look at the head-to-head series between Detroit and Carolina, you'll see why. As even though Detroit are heavy favorites, Carolina leads the all-time series over Detroit 8-3. Including winning the last two over Detroit in dominant fashion. So everyone's wondering how this could be a blowout, or how this could be a trap game for Detroit. Well, just look at the fact that Carolina has had Detroit's number for a while. Of course, this year the Panthers, they're currently 0-2 on the road this year. Detroit is 1-1 at home this year. So let's go ahead, let's take a look at the key players on the Panthers. So, of course, that quarterback, of course, is the rookie, the first overall pick from last year's draft, Bryce Young. And Bryce Young has struggled so far. To say Bryce Young is having his rookie growing pains would be a massive understatement. And he might be already having some health concerns already, since he missed already one game this year with a shoulder injury, which opened the door for the Ginger, Andy Dalton, to get a start. And he might get a couple more starts this year if Bryce Young continues to get banged up already. Since Bryce Young is so fucking small, he looks like a fucking toddler. I mean, it's funny. We all gave Kyler Murray shit for being too tiny. Yet I think Bryce Young might be fucking smaller than the midget Kyler Murray. And no, we're not giving Bryce Young the midget nickname. That nickname is reserved for fucking Kyler Murray. From this moment on forth, we refer to Bryce Young as the Toddler. A.K.a. Bryce Toddler. Or Toddler Young. Whatever name fucking sounds best for you. You figure it out. Of course, the running back duo, you have the new Miles Sanders in there along with Chuba Hubbard. And we all know what the Chuba Hubbard did to the Lions last year on Christmas Eve. It gives me nightmares still to this day. Of course, the receiving core is pretty brand new. After the Panthers traded DJ Moore away to Chicago to move up the draft Bryce Young #1. So, of course, at wide receiver, you got Adam Thielen, the former Viking. You got former Lion DJ Shark. And you also got Terrence Marshall in there. The Jets, however, the Panthers, however, they have another one in Jonathan Mingo, but he's questionable for this game as he's currently under concussion protocol. I imagine he'll clear protocol and he'll be back for this game this week. And of course, tight ends, you got Hayden Hurst and Ian Thomas. The defensive line, of course, the D-line, of course, is anchored by Derek Brown, one of the top defensive tackles in the game. And you also got Shai Tudor and Deshaun Williams anchoring that D-line as well. And of course, the edge, you got guys like Brian Burns and Frankie Louisville anchoring the edge as well. And Brian Burns being one of the top pass rushers in the league. And easily, without a shadow of a doubt, being the Panthers' top deep player in the team. Like, a lot of the Panthers' top players are on defense. Like, the fucking defense is this team's heart and soul. The linebacking core, other than that, Frankie Louisville, The linebacking core is kind of decimated, though. They are without Marquise Haynes as he's on the IR with a back injury. And they're without Shaq Thompson as he's on the IR with a lower leg injury. Their secondary, of course, is anchored by Jeremy Chin, one of the top safeties in the league, and another top player that should get an honorable mention in the Carolina Panthers best player category. Like, the three best players on the Panthers are Brian Burns, Derek Brown, Jeremy Chin, in that order. Of course, Brian being the best one, and the honorable mentions being Brown and Chin. I think that's pretty realistic right there. I think a lot of people will probably say that's probably the truth. But if the Panthers really want to go anywhere, they need to make sure that Bryce Young joins that conversation too. Whether he can or not, yet to be seen. Too early to say, but I mean, if they can give him some fucking help and some weapons and protection, it's possible. For the secondary, though, they are without J.C. Horn as he's on the IR with a leg injury. And Dante Jackson is questionable for this game with a shoulder injury. But they do have C.J. Henderson and Von Bell in there. The head coach of this team, of course, is Frank Reich, the former head coach for the Indianapolis Colts, who isn't really a bad coach. He just got fucked over massively in Indy with the Andrew Luck retirement at the worst possible time. And, of course, Frank Reich. Yeah, he's a very solid coach. And, of course, a former player for the Panthers, so it makes a lot of sense. And, of course, offensive coordinator, you got Thomas Brown. And defensive coordinator, you got Ujiro Everso. And, of course, I should mention the senior assistant, of course, for the Panthers is a former Lions coach a lot of Lions fans know very well. Because the senior assistant on the coaching staff for the Panthers is Jim Caldwell. And the assistant head coach is the Lions' former assistant head coach, Dan Campbell. As the assistant is Deuce Staley. So a little bit of some revenge games here for Deuce Staley. First game against his old team, and Jim Caldwell's first game against the Lions since being fired. So yeah, that'll be interesting there. For the Panthers offense, it's currently the 23rd ranked offense in the league. 23rd in the passing game, 22nd in the rushing game. So the offense has been pretty lackluster and has struggled a lot. But the Panthers defense, though, even though the Panthers are 0-4, their defense has kept them in some games. The Panthers defense is currently ranked 13th. They're a top 10 unit against the pass, as they're the 6th ranked defensive unit against the pass. However, though, their defense against the run, that's a different story. As the Panthers their defense is 27th against the run. So, they're good at shutting down the pass, but not the run. So, I think obviously the big key of this game is you got to run the ball, establish the run game, with David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. You got to also get more Jahmyr Gibbs more involved since he's very athletic and explosive with his runs. So, you got to get them both involved. Establish the run game and take advantage of those flaws. Just control time of possession, like pretty much what you did against Green Bay last Thursday night. Do that, but this time don't try and don't nearly blow a 24-point lead and try and get the Packers false hope and don't give the Panthers false hope like you gave the Packers last week. All right, that second half was a little bit more than we needed there. But, Detroit still won in a blowout anyway. But, yeah, just pretty much do what you did to the Packers last week. But this time, you don't let your foot off the gas. So, yeah, and of course, on defense, got to shut down the pass, take Adam Thielen out of the game, and DJ Shark. Just get pressure. Continue to get pressure and get pressure to Bryce Young, make his life miserable. And find a way to take Miles Sanders and Chuba Hubbard out of the game. Because we saw what the run game did to the Panthers last year, to the Lions last year. They shut that down. I think the Lions have a chance to win this game 100%. I mean, this is a game the Lions should win 100%. And I think it'd be pretty embarrassing if the Lions don't pull this off. Especially considering that they're favored by double digits. And keep in mind how this is a must-win game. Because consider that this game a year ago kept Detroit out of the playoffs as it derailed any hope of Detroit making it in. But I think Detroit, they should win this game. I think they will win this game. I mean, Detroit has always played better against Carolina at Ford Field. And this time, the field won't be a frozen ice pong like it was on Christmas Eve last year. You know, good chance to get some revenge on the Panthers for a Christmas Eve last year. Because that was pretty miserable last year. But anyway, I got the Lions win this game 25-19. I think Detroit wins this game. The spread, it's a little tight there. Not sure if I want to take the 10-point spread. I mean, this is a situation I've never been a part in as a fan. But I'd say the Lions should win this game by at least 6 points. I think 6 points, same Lions by 6 is pretty realistic. I'm going to say Detroit by 6. But yeah, anyway, Detroit just needs to go out there and get their job done this Sunday. But anyway, though, that'll wrap it up for me. Let's go get the W, go to 4-1, and try and stay ahead of the Packers in the NFC North. But anyway, I'm out.